All right, y'all, what's going on? It's Combo Breaker 99. I am back with another video. All right, y'all, in a couple of nights, Jessica Andrade will be making her return back into the cage in less than 3 weeks from her fight against Lauren Murphy in a main event against Erin Blanchfield. And I know some people think it's going to be an easy fight right away, but oh man, Erin Blanchfield is not a slouch. I mean, Erin Blanchfield, she is the number 10 for a reason. She's a young fighter. She's a young, hungry fighter that wants to prove herself. So Jessica Andrade taking this fight on short notice, hey, you got to give her props. But first off, before we talk Jessica Andrade, got to give Erin Blanchfield a lot of respect here. I mean, first off, she was supposed to take on Tyler Santos, but Tyler pulls out, and what do? They replace it with what might be an even tougher test for Erin Blanchfield. So you got to give this girl a lot of respect here, man, because, she is taking on her first top 10 opponent in Jessica Andrade, front and center, main event, 5 rounds. All right, let that sink in. Erin Blanchfield is taking on Jessica Andrade front and center in a 5-round main event. And this is her first top 10 opponent. Yeah, you got to think about you just got to really let all that settle in, man. You just got to really think about that, man. So respect to Erin Blanchfield, but she's really going to get major props if she can go in there and pull off the upset. Because right now, of course, Andrade, she is the favorite. Even coming off of, her short notice, hey, this is Andrade, so everybody's picking Andrade for great reason, okay? But, yeah, respect to Erin for going in here and taking on this fight. I'm really amped to see how this one turns out. I'm hoping Erin can pull off something crazy because, hey, we do need some new blood in the division. But if Jessica Andrade shows up and proves that she's just Andrade once again, got to give her respect, And I think we're pretty much all on the same page about Andrade as far as, giving her respect for always going in here and fighting the best fighters and never making any excuses. She's not one of those fighters that makes a lot of diva demands. Andrade just wants to really go in there and prove herself, better herself as a fighter, and also make money, right? That's why I got to give her that stamp as a throwback fighter because, Andrade, she'll take on these fights not only to, just entertain, but she likes to better herself as a fighter, make those statements and make those arguments on why she should get a title shot at either 125 or 115, right? I mean, for me, preferably 115, but if she can win this fight too, I mean, she puts herself in that position. So wherever she can get it, that's where she's going. And she doesn't make those crazy diva demands, like I said, because what you hear from a lot of fighters, even in MMA now, like not the same, I was going to say like, it's just usually boxing too, but some of these MMA fighters are the same way now. You hear a lot of fighters saying, oh, this fight is not worth anything, or, oh, I'm not fighting for anything less than the belt, or, oh, this person doesn't bring anything to the table. Oh, I'm the A side, I'm the B side, whatever, right? You hear a lot of fighters talking that way nowadays. That's why it's always like a refresher. It's always refreshing to hear somebody like Andrade say, hey, I'll do this. I'll do this on short notice because, hey, the Lauren Murphy fight was like training camp for me. I'm close to my weight. I still feel good. Why not? And if I do take on this fight, it could lead to a title shot, right? So even if she's not getting a title shot, she understands the importance of fights like this. She's still like negotiating. She's still making little chess moves here. That's why Andrade is like a throwback fighter, but she's kind of a more so advanced throwback fighter with the help of her management, because some of the throwback fighters back in the day, like in boxing, yeah, they were fighting because they were tough, but some of these fighters were fighting like on a weekly and monthly basis because they were fighting check to check. They were making very little money for a lot of fights, right? So now she's kind of put herself in a position where she can say, if I take on this fight, I better get more money, right? You understand, like I got to get my money too. I got to get what I'm worth because I'm putting on exciting fights for y'all, meaning the UFC, right? I'm putting money in y'all's pockets. I'm putting butts in seats. So y'all got to start respecting me by giving me what I'm worth, right? So if y'all read this recent article that I posted, y'all see that Jessica Andrade's management made sure that she signed a new deal where she's making 3 times more than her old deal, right? So when I read that, I said, okay, I got to really bring this into the video too, because I was just going to do a video talking about her being a throwback fighter and her being active and doing all these big things as far as in the cage, but it really counts outside of the cage too. Like the moves that she's making outside of the cage count just as much, because I want to see these fighters like Andrade comfortable. I want to see them comfortable when they start getting into their later years, right? Like when they start losing and then they say, oh, it's time to call it quits. I want to see them living comfortable now because, hey, good, they gave us good fights. They gave us, good nights of fights and entertainment. So, you know, I just want to see them reap the benefits of what they were, bringing to the UFC. They deserve their worth too, right? So if you read through this article here, you'll just see that Andrade is in a much better position now, where, she can say, hey, if I'm putting on exciting fights for the UFC, they got to do something for me, right? Because this is what she said. She said, it was something really good, a good change in my career, a great change in my career. And now I'll be able to make my nest egg and plan my life, because maybe my body won't be the same in 5 or 6 years. So now I'll be able to change my life and my family's life. See? So before, it was kind of like she was living check to check, I think. She was signing a big deal, like I said, for 10 fights. And everybody knows that if you sign more fights, it's going to be less money. So this time around, seeing as Jessica Andrade is bringing a lot to the table here, and she's one of those fighters that answers the call, and she's also putting on exciting fights, then you got to start saying, you know what? Hey, I know my worth. So if you want more knockouts from me and you want more performances from me, then you got to show me more money. So that means less fights on a contract, but more money, right? So the last time around when she signed that 10-fight deal, things definitely had to change since then, because she was still trying to make a name. But the more and more you advance as a fighter and you bring a lot to the table, it's like she said, you scratch my back, I'll scratch your back. It's that type of situation. Like, the more and more your stock goes up, then your demands can go up, right? Because this is what she also said. My last contract had 10 fights, but Ali said that was crazy, that it wasn't a good idea to have a contract with so many fights. He said, let's do the next contract with less fights, but with you getting paid more, right? That only makes sense, right? Because once you start bringing more to the table, you can start saying, hey, I deserve more money because I'm putting more butts in seats and I'm bringing y'all in more money as well. So, like she said, people say I'm saving the UFC, but I'll tell you this, the UFC has saved me many times before. It's a double-edged sword. You scratch my back and I'll scratch your back. So I think that's only fair for the UFC to try their best to meet her needs as well, because Jessica Andrade, again, she'll answer that call. She never makes diva demands and say, I deserve this, I deserve that. Even with the championship fight that she's looking for with Wei Lee, it makes sense. Like, she's not really talking out the side of her neck here. You know what I mean? Like, when she fought Wei Lee in China as the champion, she went to China to fight Wei Lee, right? She went to China to fight Wei Lee as the champion, right? So she actually stepped on foreign ground as the champion to defend her belt and lost. So now this time around, she only wants what's fair. She said, how about Wei Lee as the champion come to Brazil, right? There's nothing really wrong with that. So even with that, some people, they'll get mad at her for saying that. But no, I'm just saying, Jessica Andrade, she's not even asking too much with that. But at the same time, she's not just screaming Wei Lee, Wei Lee, Wei Lee. In the meantime, she'll fight other fighters, Lauren Murphy, Manon Fiorot, Aaron Blanchfield, Amanda Lemos. Any of these fighters, Carla Esparza. You throw any of those names at her, she'll fight them. But you have to also scratch her back, like she said. So at this point, if Andrade can go in here perform against Aaron Blanchfield, I think she will deserve her rematch against Wei Lee. I mean, it'll come down to her and Amanda. I really want to see that Amanda Lemos fight, but with the moves that Andrade is making, me as a businessman, and just seeing like the things that she's doing for you as a company, you kind of have to reward that type of fighter as well, because it has been a minute since she fought for the belt at strawweight, right? It's been a minute now since she fought a strawweight title fight, and she's been doing good things for the company, right? So I think that it's only fair that at some point she should get a title shot. If it's not before Lemos, after Lemos is cool, right? So, yeah, let me just read through this article a little bit here. Like she said, as far as the deal, she said, this is work well done from my part, but also my team to be putting on good fights, and also me being available when the UFC needs me. This fight has really saved my life in every sense. I'll even buy my mother a new house. So you got to look at them options like that. When you, like she said, you scratch the UFC's back in certain situations like this, and you also have the resume to back it up, they can't really deny you. I mean, they have in the past with some fighters, but sometimes, if you got the receipts and you got the management to back you up in this situation, which is really, really key here, the management as well, they can really put you in better graces, So I'm just glad that Andrade is in the situation now where she's making 3 times as much, and she's finally actually saving up, which is crazy because some of these fighters, you would think that when they're making these 5-figure checks, 6-figure checks, that they could be retiring soon. No, man, a lot of that money is still going into management and the trainers. And by the time, they finish paying everybody off, there's only like maybe 4 figures left, which will probably go to doctor bills and maybe even partially to the training camp for the next fight. And then it goes to other bills, right? And some of these fighters, you got to remember, they don't know how to manage money anyway. They're not really built that way. So they really are running out of these 5-figure and 6-figure checks. Yeah, they even running out of the bonuses sometimes, those $50,000 bonuses. So I'm just glad she's got a management that said, hey, we're not signing any more of these big fight contracts. It's got to be a smaller one, but it's got to be for more money because you got to know your worth. And I'm glad that Andrade is finally understanding that now, because who knows, like she said, in 5 or 6 years, her body might quit on her. So you want to get as much money as you can in these next couple of contracts so you can save up and be in a position where you don't have to fight anymore when you don't want to fight anymore, right? So, yeah, much respect to Andrade. Definitely that throwback fighter. Final thoughts. She's definitely going to continue to do what she does, put on these type of performances that we love. And she's definitely going out as a Hall of Famer, one of the most exciting fighters in WMMA. Just keep it up. But I do want to see the Lemos fight before she gets her rematch. I mean, guarantee hers. She can get hers, but just make it after Lemos gets her shot. All right, that's all I ask. I hope she puts on a good fight against Blanchfield coming up this weekend. But I can't lie and say I don't want Aaron to win. I want to see Aaron win this one because it's much better for the flyweight division, though. So yeah, guys, let me know what y'all think about Andrade's situation. If you read the article, Combo Breaker 99. I'm out. Subscribe. Peace.